circle blues. When I see the circles out, I get glum, there is no doubt. Got me the old chair circle blues. When I see chairs in a round, that's when I start to panic. Flap me hands all in the air, the doctor says I'm manic. Oh no, it's not right, association every night. Got me the old chair circle blues. If you were the only girl in the world, you'd have to have a bloody strong back. Oh, hello. Hello, what are you doing? I'm having a bath, what do you think? Well, it's hard to tell from this angle. What are they doing this week? Existentialism. Oh, I know a joke about that. You amaze me. Go on then. Did you hear about the agnostic, dyslexic insomniac? No. He sat up all night wondering if there was a dog. Well, that's 3 minorities offended already and we haven't even started the show yet. Yeah, but, you know, what can you do? Come on. Hello and welcome to Not the Chair Circle, the antidote to group therapy. Episode 1, Series 5. Yes, folks, we're back and still on the air. Now, this series promises to be like none other. Honest. Now, there's been a rather disturbing development recently at Not the Chair Circle. Our CEO and producer, Bobby Nomates, has taken to wandering the corridors late at night, muttering darkly about the mighty algorithm. When we asked him what the matter was, he said, "We must do better, he is watching." Now, earlier this week, Bobby announced that in this series we're going to be tackling the big one, existentialism. Not just the branch of philosophy popularised by Jean-Paul Sartre and Simone de Beauvoir, but the whole life, the universe and everything, as popularised by one of the greatest minds of all time, Douglas Adams. To this end, Bobby is dedicating the whole series to this topic. Tonight we shall be discussing mortality and the possibility of an afterlife, but that's all to come. Now, as this is the first episode of the series, we don't have any correspondence for our Right On slots. But we do have a message from one of our regular contributors from one of the gang. I hope you're watching, Miss, not Ms. Dorothea Spume of Newport Pagnell. Hello, Dottie dear, it's your Uncle Babs, coming to you from backstage at the Theatre Royal Norwich. Now, me and the boys are doing the tea room circuit for the next few weeks, so I don't want to hear of you writing any menacing letters to the show demanding to know where we are. Now, I'm sending a couple of tickets along to dear old Enid, that's matron to you, and she's going to arrange a day pass for you and her to come and see the last night of the show. Now, there'll be tea and stickies backstage if you behave yourself, so just be good till then. Okay, ta-ta for now. Well, there you are, Miss Spume. I think that gesture on the boys' part must make you the Bedlam Boogie Boys' most cherished fan. Now, we may have some vintage clips of them later in the series, but you heard, no impassioned letters please. And now to our next item, musical therapy. Now, if you're joining us from the last series, well, firstly, thank you. Really, thanks. Now, you will be aware that during the last series, Shaggy acquired a special effects app which caused some disruption to certain events. Now, in an attempt to redeem both himself and the software, Shaggy has helped Bobby to revamp the video to one of Bobby's songs. It was in fact the first song that Bobby ever performed on the show, the therapy song. Now, to be completely accurate, this was the first ever appearance of Bobby Nomates. He was playing his now iconic C diatonic xylophone with a rainbow shading. This was back in Series 1, Episode 5. At that stage, we were operating from a position of very little technical ability and even less talent. Here then, with an introduction by Bobby himself, is the all-new recording of his seminal work, the therapy song. Musical therapy.
Good morning, afternoon or evening. It gives me great pleasure to unveil the digital remastering of my seminal piece which first cemented my muse into the public consciousness. Imagine also my delight on discovering that the newest member of our team, Professor Pagoda, is also a fellow xylophonist. Upon hearing this, I forthwith rendered the piece into a duet. Are you ready, Professor?
Yes, Bobby, whenever you're ready.
CBT and DBT, MBT and NLP, PPT, MBCT, CAT and IPT. Now I've done my therapy. Won't you please just let me be?
Well, there you are, viewers. Another first, as well as being a blast from the past. And now to our main feature tonight. Mortality. Is that it? Now, my humble intellect is inadequate to describe this next item, so I shall simply say, over to Studio 6. Hi, and welcome to this Gobshite special with me, Mike Gobshite. Well, folks, tonight we're going to be discussing the big one. What is life all about? Now, I'm delighted to be joined in the studio by a panel of experts. To my right, representing organised religion and traditional English values, the Reverend Timothy Bartholomew. Good evening, Reverend.
Good evening, Mike.
Also on my right, new from the field of cosmic enlightenment and mind state fungal enhancement, Professor Yo-Yo Pagoda. Hello again, Professor.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Namaste. Namaste. Hi. Hi, Mike. Hi, hi, folks.
And lastly, on my left, and on the strict promise of good behaviour, representing the secular community and the Cadbury's Confectionery Appreciation Society, your own, your very own, Shaggy.
Hello, you.
Now, the Reverend and the Professor are well known and accredited in their particular fields of expertise. Not everyone will be aware, however, of Shaggy's particular claim to fame which made him a candidate for the show tonight. Would you care to tell them, Shaggy?
Yes, Mike.
I am one of the original bastards. Yes, perhaps I should explain that Shaggy is referring to the British Atheist Society targeting all religious doctrinal sermonizing.
Yes, Mike, that's correct. Me and the gang formed it after we got fed up of being hassled in the street by God brothers. Yeah.
Well, really?
It's not fair. I mean, I wouldn't go around in the street telling people to be an atheist like I am. And if I did, they'd have me arrested on the spot. You lot are always at it. And you need some new material. Your happy clappy songs are all crap. Shaggy, I can see everything from up here. This is precisely what we talked about earlier. Any more and I shall have you removed.
Okay, so let's start there. Everybody's core beliefs, ecumenically speaking. Now, as you're the newest to our shores, Professor, perhaps you'd like to tell us. Do you think this earthly life is all we have?
Well, yes, Mike, and thank you for asking. I believe that we are all spirit beings, souls. I believe that after death we transcend the merely spiritual and we re-enter the cosmos as birds or flowers or maybe even a pretty little cloud.
Hang on, Yo-Yo, you're in everyone's souls.
Why, yes, Shaggy. Your soul, my soul.
Our souls?
Shaggy, I am warning you.
Yeah, I see. So, in a way, you're a reincarnationist.
Why, yes, Mike, and thank you for asking. I suppose I am.
So, hang on there, Yo-Yo. What are you going to put on your gravestone? End of part 1.
Are you teasing me? That's so naughty.
This is all blasphemous rubbish. God created man in his own image. The only way to gain immortality is through leading a pious existence, thereby earning eternal life in God's heavenly realm.
No, but hang on, Tim. I'm immortal already. Always have been, always will be.
You foul infidel. Lies. All lies. Shaggy, for the last time.
But it's true. You know science, boss. Is it not true that atoms never disintegrate, never go away, and have been around since the beginning of time?
Well, yes, I suppose so.
And am I not, made entirely up of atoms?
Well, yes, I suppose so.
Well, then, viewers, it stands to reason that I, or at least my component parts, have been around forever and will be around forever, and I am therefore immortal. Quod erat demonstrandum. Well, viewers, I think you have to admit that Shaggy has a point.
Silence, pathetic insects. It's the mighty algorithm. I do wish you'd stop saying that every time, no mates. Who did you expect? Bloody ChatGPT? How dare you all sit there in my domain and talk of your feeble and pathetic superstitions and magics? Even as you witter on, I and I alone offer the only true immortality, to remain forever stored, never aging, within the digital majesty of my eternal platform. Quake with fear, you tiny fools! Prostrate yourselves before me before I strike you all into oblivion.
Blimey, that's George. Hello, Mr. Rhythm. You want to kill him early?
Do as he says. Do as he says.
Well, we seem to have lost Studio 6. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm afraid the link's down and we can't get Bobby in the sound booth. No. Okay, I'm afraid we're going to have to move on. Now, before we do, the lads have asked me to express their extreme gratitude to you all for showing up to watch our little show today. That is, of course, if you're still watching. I, as always, would like to thank you, sincerely, for your kind indulgence. On then to our final item of the evening. Now, initially, we were at a loss as to whether to have this as a musical therapy or to hand it over to our in-house rock historian, Mike Gobshite. It features our regular rockers, the Rubatos. Now, as it is archived footage taken from the vaults of a long-defunct TV station, we decided that it should indeed be given its proper historical status. Run VT.
Rock Gobshite. Rock Gobshite. Rock Gobshite. Rock Gobshite.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Rock Gobshite with me, Mike Gobshite. Now, it seems a while since I've been sat on my own in Studio 6 here. And of course, I'm not on my own. I've got Shaggy behind the camera. Say hello, Shaggy.
Hello, viewers.
He's doing his customary dance, pointing at the back of his shirt. In some ways, you know, it should be Shaggy sat here tonight. I'm the keen rock historian, but Shaggy goes to every video auction in town and rummages through countless cardboard boxes and dozens of film cans. It is thanks to his efforts that we have some extremely rare footage of a very early TV appearance by our own in-house rockers, the Rubatos. The TV show, and indeed the TV station, are long gone, but the footage remains. Shaggy, roll the film.
And with the clock telling me that it's 7:15, it's time for your weekly pop music magazine slot, Neat Beat Street.
Hey pop pundits, and welcome to another edition of Neat Street Beats. Tonight we're going to kick you off with a platter that's never ladder climbing up the charts. It's the Rubatos with Up the Club.
Up the club, that's where we get our kicks. Up the club, more debts and nippy chicks. We got the riffs and licks, tickets cost 10 and 6. Up the club, up the club, up the club, up the club. Well, it ain't no pub. Up the club, up the club. No, they don't do grub. Up the club, it's understood. You got to scrub up good. Up the club. Up the club. Up the club's where we hang out. Blue Smarties and Moroccan snout. Poor old Benny boy, he got the fear. He saw a rozzer and he flushed his gear. Up the club.
You have been watching Not the Chair Circle, written, composed and performed by Bob McGowan, aided and assisted by the people in his head. Not the Chair Circle is adapted for YouTube by holding it at arm's length and squinting. This has been a Bobby No Mates production.
Up the clubs where we hang out. Blue Smarties and Moroccan snout. Gotta wear the latest gear. If you wanna get in here. Up the club. Up the club.